Okay, so I'll start once again. So in string, there is one method called string slicing with skip value. Skip value does what? Like if you want to print certain values of a string, for example, you want to print H and then you want to skip E and L. Then you want to print LO, then you want to skip space and this one, and then you want to print O, then you want to skip RL, then you want to print D. So yeah, in Python you can do that. So let's take it an example how we'll do. Okay, so again I'll erase all the things. New, let's write, like for example, amazing. Okay, so in amazing, what I want to do, I want to print this word amazing but a skip value of 2. That means, like, if I want to print A, then I want to skip M and A, then I want to print Z, then I want to skip I and N, then I want to print Z. Okay, so we'll write new to new, open close bracket, then we will start it from 1, and first we'll count the length of the value, that is so let's take in an example of 6. From 1 to I to print 6 with a skip value of 2. I'll print new. So here we get MZN. Let me tell you how. So it starts from 0, we know, and here I have given the instruction to print from 1, so it prints M, then till length of 6. So from if you count 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, total it's 6. Okay, so from start to end, but from print it will take from M. So, and with the skip value of 2. So this one is the starting point of the print, then this one is the last, and this one is the skip value. So from M it prints M, then it skips A, then it prints Z, then skips IN, then G is not available because it because we have said two skips value. If there was something extra, and then it should print H with GH, it should skip. Okay. So this was the thing I missed in last lecture. Uh, that's it. If you want to check more, you can check on Google. So let me show you. On Stack Overflow, I think it's explaining easily, so we'll check that. Okay, it's the same that we have done, but here it uses skip value of 4. Okay, there is nothing much in what we say with skip value. That is the, if you want to skip some parts of a string, you can do that. You cannot use multiple skip values. For example, uh, you can say that you added one more 4 or one more 6. You cannot do that. You can use with one line of code, you can use one skip value. and skip value only works with the string. So let's start today's chapter, that is list and tuples. So for list and tuples, we already know that and tuples both are uh, built-in data types in Python. We already seen in day one. Sorry, I guess in day two we have seen that. Yeah, built-in data types. We have seen list is a built-in data type, and tuples also built-in data type. They both are. So how we'll understand what is list and what is tuple? So the clear is, if you write something, for example, with open and close bracket, that is list. And if you write like this, it's tuple. So why means why list was invented? The main question was ki why list was invented. So the problem is that before list, you can, if you want to access any of the values, so list works as a container. Let me tell you, list works as a container. Same as, you can say, same as variable. With, if I assign something a equals to apple. Okay. So A is a container that stores value, and the value is apple, and it is in a string format. Okay. But what list does? Same list does, but it stores multiple values. So it will be easy. For example, if you have something in a list, so it's better to add it in a list instead of making variable. For example, you have fruits and you have 10 fruits. So you'll make fruit 1 equals to, taking an example, apple, then fruit 2, I'll write in short, f2 equals to mango, and so on, so on. So if you have 100 fruits, you have to write 100 line of code. So what list does, it works as a same thing, but it stores multiple value and with different data types. Okay, so let's take an example, a apple. Okay, so and the another value will be, for example, this apple is a string. For example, another my value is integer. Okay, with comma. Then I'll use some float 15.10. Then I can use bool, true. Then I'll use none. Then I'll use some complex number. So a list can contain different data types, and to check, you can, it can be string, integer, float, boolean, none, complex number, etc. You can, in list you can also store some different types of things, for example dictionaries, and you can also store set if you want, but that will comes in advanced Python. That's not the part of the basic. In list you can store multiple things, and list is a thing, list and dictionary is a thing that you will use the most. For example, if you want to take let's give I'll give you an example. You are a network engineer and you want to take backup of 10 devices. So what you have done, you imported a module, and then, for example, this done network automation. You can say there are two famous libraries, NetMiko and Paramiko. You have imported that library, you established a connection, and then you list a set of commands. Okay, for example, I'll show you. What's the list? See, uh, NetMiko, but here it created dictionary, not list. Okay, so you can also make. I'll show here. See, for commands, he in NetMiko for commands he uses list. These are the list. Okay, and for router uh, credentials, he uses dictionary. So list and dictionary is a thing that you will use most for taking taking backups, or for in automation you can say, and in various types of, for example, if you want to manage big data, so you will be for as a credential you can use dictionary, you can use list, so many things. And we'll have a separate class for NetMiko and Paramiko in the future after this basic ends. So yeah, we'll understand NetMiko and Paramiko deeply. So for now, a simple thing I'll say, Python lists are containers to store a set of values of any data type. In short, what list does, it stores multiple value. That's it. What variable does, variable can store a single value. For example, if you write like this, a apple, then you also write like this. Okay, it's valid. But can you store these two values in list? If I want to store, sorry, if I want to access this value, I can access. If I want to access this value, I can access. If I want to access this value, I can access because it's separated by comma. But here we cannot. If you add comma, it will not work. Okay, so for best practice, variable can store a single value and list can store multiple values. That's it. There are things that a variable can stores multiple value. I'm not saying, let me correct it one thing. Variable can contain store can stores multiple value, but for as a basic lecture you should understand for now, a single variable can store single value. And if you want a multiple, if you have multiple values, you should use a list for now. Okay, then as I said, list can store any type of value, any type of data values, that is string, integer, and if you want to access, it's a simple thing. Let's take an example. A equals to A, then same one. Um, one is integer. So this one 15. So let me check. Print A. We get 15. If I put 0, we got apple. And if we want to check what is the data type of this value, so we simply use type. See, it's a class string. If I want to check access of value 1, it will be integer. And say for 2, it's a float. If I want to access from 0 to 2, yeah, sorry, it's a list because it contains multiple value. But from here, I'll remove type and then I'll print. So it should print 0, 1, and this one will be skip. Yeah, okay, we got list. Okay, so we already know that we can, uh, uh, you can say it's a list slicing. Actually, it's not the exact word, list slicing, yeah, but For example, if you want to access certain part, that is slicing of a given value. Yeah, so that is done. So now let's take an example. You want to print same thing, same in slicing windows. We want to print from 0 till end. That is from here to here. And we don't need this comma over here. Yeah. So we access all the things. If you see, we got, if you want to print from till end. So if you want to print all the things, I don't think so we need to mention anything. Let's take an example. I haven't tried this. I'll try that. It's is it working? Yeah, it works. So if we give just semicolon, so it will print from start to end. But if you want, if for example, who will do this? No one, because if you want to print full list, why should I write this line? Instead of this, I can simply print it. This one and this one, both are same. So yeah, from let's take an example. If I want to print, but from here, so we know that the value will be 0, 1, 2. Okay, so from 2 till end. Okay, and then same we can do for reverse, that is -1 if you want. So it will print the last value. If you say -2, that will be this value, none. So we have completed list slicing. First one was a list can store multiple values. That's it. Variable can store single value. For now, variable can store single value. List can store multiple values. Second, we can do list slicing. For example, if you want to add certain value of a list, yeah, we can do that. So that comes under list slicing. Now we will see some of the list methods. Okay. Uh, Same, let me open this J2 again. Same, there will be, we, yesterday we were in string. So we saw strings methods at the end. You can say that string methods we have seen. Okay. Same in list, there are list methods. In tuple, there are tuples method. Dictionary, there are dictionary methods. And at sets, there are sets methods. So nothing big. If you understand one data type, then you will the rest will be easy for you. Okay. And one more thing I'll tell you: list contains. How you'll know it's a list or a tuple or dictionary or set? So list is always with open bracket and close bracket. That means it's a list. If it's a tuple, then you will have parenthesis. It will be same, but it will be parenthesis. Okay, so that means it's a tuple. And if it's a dictionary, you will see like this. And if it's a set, it will be like this with curly braces. Dictionary and sets are with curly braces. Tuple will be parenthesis, that is open and close bracket, and list will be with square brackets. Let's take one more example. So a list can contains dictionary or not. For example, I'll put comma and then I'll simply add this. Okay. So let me access my -1. So my -1 should be this one. Yeah, I can access. And if I want to check which data type it should be, it is, so simply print type A. It's a dictionary. Same we can use for in list. We can store tuple, set, etc. But can we store a list in dictionary? That we will check in dictionary lecture. And can we store a list in tuple? That we will see today. So now we will go through list methods. So I'll create a list. For example, I'll create a simple list that will be 0, 1, 3, 5, 7, 8, 9, and um, I'll do 11. Okay, so this one. So first one we will see is sort. So list equals to list dot sort. That's it. Then print list. What sort method does, it will sort the command. So for example, now our list is 0, 1, 3, 5. Then after 5 it should come 8, then 9, then 11. Okay, it will sort our list. Hmm, let me just a second, guys, let me check. Okay, we can directly use list dot sort. Yeah. Okay, so we no need to create a new variable. If we do that, it will print none. So we can directly use list dot sort. Okay, so no need to create a variable. Now, taken an example of reversing. So if I want to reverse this, then it should print like 11, 9, 8, 5, 3, 1, 0. So I'll use reverse. See, 9, 8, 11, 5, 3, 1, 0. Now, let's take an example. We want to add something in a list and we want to print that list. So we will use append method. Append, and for example, here 2 is not there. So what we will do, we will add 2. See, 0, 1, 3, 5, 11, 8, 9, and at the end 2. What append does, it will add the value to the list, and where it will add, to the last. So if there is a, let's say in an example, uh, 10. So after 10 it will add 2. Now we have another method, like for example insert. So let's take in an example. We want to add something like 5 with the value 7. Okay, see, 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, so 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. At the place of 5 it adds 7. So With append method, append what does? It will add the value to the last of the list. With insert method, you can give instructions where you want to add the value. So a value can be anything. It's not like that it should be in digit only. It can be uh, list, string also. Say now we have one another. If we want to delete something, we can delete it. For example, for delete, we have a pop command. So let's take in an example. We want to remove 0. See, 0 has been deleted. Now we have command remove. So let's take in an example. We want to remove 0. Same, but you will say me that so pop and remove are both say no. They both contains different things. They are different methods. Pop will delete the value from the list, and remove method will remove the value from the list. It means that remove if you use remove method, it will completely remove it from the list and you will get another list. And with pop will delete the list, but it will not remove it will store the value in the memory. So if you want to completely remove value from the list, so you should use remove method. But for temporary purpose, you are deleting it, so you should use pop command. So let's take in an example. I'll give you a better example of pop and remove. So you have a CRM, okay? So you have two types of access. Mm, one is user access, another one is admin access. So in user access, before this, I'll show you there are so many fields: name, email, then phone number, then country, then uh, state, pin code, etc. Okay. So for user, you want to show only name, email, name, email, and then country, state, pin code. You don't want to display phone number. So in this case, you will use pop. Pop will delete it from the user. Okay, in user access, and in admin it will show, because for user you have used pop command. But if you use remove command, it will remove from the this list. Okay. So I hope you guys understand the difference between pop and delete. Sorry, pop and remove. Pop will delete it, but the value will be stored in the list. And if we use remove, it will completely remove the value from the list. Now we have we'll go list methods one by one. So this is the list method that there is no hard and fast in listing. That's it. What now we will go list methods one by one, but I'll recall all the things what I have told you now. So list, the list is extended version of variable that can store multiple values. Okay, so it's nothing but it extended version of a variable that could store multiple values. And how will you understand that it's a list? It will be like this: list, this one. Okay. Can you make an empty list? So what it's called, this is called an empty list. Yeah, you can make an empty list and you can create a new list from the old list. I'll show you. So let's take an example. I'll show you empty list afterwards. First, what we will do, we will go through it. Now we seen that we can do list slicing. Okay, the second we have seen, and third we saw list methods. So we'll talk more on list methods. This two is over. Now first, we'll see list with same data elements. That is also we saw a list can store same data elements and different data elements. For example, fine. This is a simple list with same data elements. Now again, a list with different data elements. We saw that we can access list values, that is list slicing. It's sum as list equals to list, that is 0. Now we also saw that we can use in reverse method. Okay. Now I'll show you another thing, that is if we want to modify any of the data by index method. This is the indexing, list indexing. And if you want to change any of the list value, we can do that. So let's take an example, list equals to, uh, sorry, mm, list at value 0 equals to, uh, here it's apple, it should be mango. Print list. So we will see this uh, in, so okay, I'm writing in test. Just a thing, let me create new file. Depot. we can modify with the indexing method also. Okay, uh, string cannot be modified in list, so we'll see what we will do. We'll use 1 and then 20. Okay, it's done. So actually this was the error was due to this. So we'll check again. Yeah, it's done. So we already seen slicing. So I'll write it slicing also. List equals to list and then 1 to 4. That is list slicing. We already seen this that with 1 to 4 it will print 1, 2, 3. So there is no 4, so it will give you an error. Now we can check length of the list. For example, what is the so there are in my list there are hundreds of items stored. So I cannot count manually. So we can use length function in list. So for example, length list. Okay. So let's check in an example list. Then I'll use the length function. So my length is 4, that is 0, 1, 2, 3, and the last one is erase. Okay. So if it's written 4, that doesn't mean it's 1, 2, 3, 4. It starts with 0, it skips the last value. For example, as I said, if you want to print, let me copy and show you again. This, it will give you an error, I guess. Okay, it's not giving an error because it's skipping the last value. Okay, so now another one is concatenating. So yeah, you can concatenate if you want to combine two lists, or for example in a list you want to add certain things, you can add that. So we have seen that with the insert method, but we can do with some different types of, for example, I'll show you, you'll understand easily. So you take an access as a, you have this, let me write it. Now for concatenation, you will have list equals to list, then plus sign, then another list. For example, you have you want to add after true, you want to add some fruits. Let's take an example. So no, you want to add some names. So apple, some fruits, grapes, etc. So if you want to, I'll copy and I'll show you over here. See, so in list you can concatenate. Now we will see some more methods. For example, we will see list. I already told you about append, that it will add the value to the last of the list. So that will be like this: list dot append. For example, you want to add two. So it will add the value at the last. Now we will see another, that is extended. Okay, extended list. So for extended, I'll the code will be list dot extended, then the list name. For example, here it will be list uh, 2. So I'll tell you how it will work. So you use the list 2 and then you have to create list 2, and list 2 value will be mango 2017 on false. So let's check. Sorry, it should be extend. So yeah, so it's similar to concatenation, but if you want to combine two lists, you can. So it's similar, but not it's exactly. Concatenation, what does, it will combine two list and make one. Okay. So and it with extended, it will combine both the list, but and that list will be the third one. For example, uh, this list will be present, this list will also be present, and there will be another extended list that will be list name. So here it should be actually it's not should be like this. It there should be another variable for it. So we can use some like something like extended list equals to, and then we can write, and yeah, here what we'll do, will print extended list. Okay, so this will be the correct. thing. If you are using extended, it should be like this. Now we already seen insert method that it will be mm, extending list with new list. It will create a new list. Okay. So now we will see insert method. For example, one with value 4. Okay. So it's 0. Now it's 1. So it will add 4 here, and its 10 will become at value 2. So let's check 4. So it's added 4 next to the value 0. With if we have done append what does append adds to the last. Okay. Now we have seen another method, that is list dot remove. I already uh, explained you a lot on remove and pop, so I don't think so. I want to tell you again, list dot pop, delete element from list. Okay, so now there is an index method, list dot index, for example, will take 2. So here 2 not there. So what we'll do, we will take value 10. Okay, and we will print it. So we need to convert it into variable. So it should be like list equals to list dot index. Then yeah. So it says that it's available on the first year. But what if there are two 10? Okay. So let's take an example. We have another 10. See. So it checks only one time only with index method. It checks value one time only. For example, if we have 10 on another occurrence, you can say, for example, 10 we have at position 1, and then we have at position 5, or you can take at 20, 40, 50. So index will go through from here at 0, and it will go through here with 1. If we get the value, so it will print it, yeah, it's on 1, but it will not go, it will not continue it. It will not check again and again. For example, if you want to do that, you have to use while loop. Yeah, but index is like it will check only with the first occurrence. If you get it first time, then it will not check again. For example, if you don't have the matching value, it will produce an error. So with so index, what index does, it will uh, print the first occurrence. Now we have another value, a method that is count. For example, it will take, you know. So if we does like this, for example, 10, it will count all the numbers. So show you. Say with count, it will go through all the list and check if I have multiple 10, then it will shows me three times. Okay. So this is the major difference between list and index. If I use index method, then it will only count one time. If you got this 10, so let's take an example. I'll make it 100. So it will check apple, then it will get 100. So if value matches, then it will print it. If not, then you can see that 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. It should print 4. Then it will not go through 5. Now we have sort method that I already told you, that is list dot sort. So we can use this list dot sort method. See, here we got an error not supported between instances of int and string. Sort method mostly works with same data types, and that data type should be integer only, integer or float or something. So if we have multiple strings also, it shouldn't work because sort doesn't understand how to sort that thing. For example, it don't know what type of value it should be. If it's a number, yeah, it knows that I have to sort this. Okay. So sort method mostly works with integer and float values, not with strings. And if it's a combine one, for example, let's take an example. Here it's a string that contains the value apple. Here it's 100. Here it's true. So even I don't know how to sort this. Let it be Python. Even I don't know how I'll sort this. So yeah, sort works with integer and float value. So let me write it. Now we have one another popular, you can say popular method, that is list dot reverse. So it will make 10, 10 true, 1500 apple will be gone last. So let's check. Okay. So it's now in reverse. So another method will be our copy. Um, So it will not work like this because we have to give instruction. We have added method to copy, but in which list, or there should be that. So we will make it another list, that is mm, copy list print cl, that is copy list. So now it's again printed the value. So with copy method, you can say copy is something that it's copying. The original list will be as it is. It will not modify or make anything. With append method, what it does, it add the value to the list. So the main values change. But with copy, the this list will be as it is, and it will create another list, that is copy list. Okay. Now we have another interesting, uh, it's a clear one, so I don't have to tell you that what it will do. It will simply clear your list. Okay. With now this is an empty list. So okay, it's done. So we are fully done with the list. Now we will start tuple. But before starting it, we will see some more list methods. Append we already seen, extended we seen, insert we seen, remove seen, pop, clear we just now we see, index we seen, sort we already seen, um, reverse we seen, copy we seen. So okay, stack, this append method we already seen. Mm, list compression, that is something different. We will see uh, not now. The uh, in loop, yeah, in loop lecture we can see that list comprehension, nested lists. Okay. Nested list is okay, I'll tell you nested list. So as I said earlier, that in list we can create another list, and in list we can create dictionary sets, tuples. So yeah, we can also create. Just a second, guys. Just give me 1 second. Sorry, guys. I'm back now. So we can create a nested list, that is list equals to, then again, and we will add values to, for example, 5. Then we will create another list with string values. You can say that will store, for example, fruits. Apple. Then in nested list, we can create something that will store. Sorry, let me correct it over here. This will be comma. So it will store some float numbers. For example, 1.1, comma 1.2. Then we created another list that will only store booleans. That will be true, comma false, and our list will contain value none. So this will be our nested list. Okay. So now this is something yeah, we'll know in looping class. So for now, not required now. For this we'll see in loop class, not now. So this will be in advanced class, zip method, zip function, not now. Uh, delete, we already seen that it will delete values. So, okay, now, yeah, okay, we done 100% with the list. If you want more, you can check on official doc and you can practice. Oh, now we will start tuples. So, as I said, tuple is like this with parenthesis. So, if there is something like this, then it is a tuple. So, and what it is actually, it's an empty tuple. I'll tell you over here. So, it's an empty tuple. Now, taking an example. Now, this we will say a tuple with single element or one element. Now, if you want to add multiple element, then let's take, I'll copy the same list and I'll show you. Uh, okay, a tuple with multiple elements. Now the question arrives, if there is a list, why we need tuple? So once you add something in tuple, any element, you cannot alter or manipulate. For example, you cannot use this append method. You cannot use insert method. Okay, you cannot use remove, pop, etc. We'll see a list method. In short, a tuple cannot be altered or manipulated. You cannot change the value. Once a tuple is created, it will be like this only. You cannot change it. So why tuple data type was introduced? Because there was a requirement. You can say all anything which has been made, it's all are on a requirement. So uh, let's take an example in your code. there are something that cannot be changed or manipulated. So for this, you should write in tuple. List will why we write in list? Because we know that list. For example, we have let's say we have a data that contains name, phone number, country, and this value. So we know that with list dot appendment, if we found any other data that will be added in the list. But what happens with the tuple? It cannot be modified. For example, uh, I'll show you an Excel, guys. You'll understand easily. I don't know Excel. mm. So let's take in an example. We have a sheet, Excel sheet. I'll draw a table. So okay. So we know that the first this will be not change anyhow. So for example, name. We know that these three tabs will not be changed. So what we can do, we can write this in tuple. And this is not a good example actually, but for understanding, I'm giving you because it's not like that. The whole list will be created in list. The whole this table will be created in list. But for example, I am saying that this part cannot be changed. This value can be changed. So that's why this should be created in tuple, and then this will be created in list. Okay, so that's why tuple was invented. So now tuple has everything same, just what list does, tuple can also does, but in tuple there is one single difference that tuple cannot be altered or manipulated. We will see tuple methods. So yeah, if I say that there cannot be append, extend, insert, remove, pop command. So yeah, some functions works in tuple, some not. So let's take an example, this two. Index works in tuple, count works in tuple. So I'll create first I'll um, I'll use C, and so 2 will not work. Here I'll add 10. Okay, so as I said, repeated values cannot. So let's add one more 10. Say if I use append method in tuple, so will it work? We'll check. So let's see. Tuple object has no attribute append, so we cannot use append in tuple. Same if you want to use insert, we cannot use insert method also. So for we can use count if you want. So yeah. So 10 values two times. So we understood that tuples cannot be um manipulated or altered. So this tuple will be same like this when it was created. So let me check more tuple methods. So let's start with tuple. So as I said, tuple is a collection of data types that is similar to list. First thing is cleared. Then there are some minor, you can say minor difference in between tuples and list that are tuples are defined with parentheses. Tuples are immutable. It means that it cannot be changed or manipulated. And then we already saw that tuples can contain multiple data types, that is strings, float, boolean. So yeah. So okay. Now in tuple also indexing works. So for example, I'll create one tuple. So uh, act- okay. So yeah, in tuple indexing works. For example, I'll do like this. Um okay, we access the value at 0. If we write like 1, we got 1. If you want to print from 0 to uh, till value 5, that is 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So it should print till 4. Okay. So yeah, indexing we can do in tuple. So now another thing I'll tell you, tuple supports packing and unpacking. When I say packing and unpacking, that means packing is when multiple values are assigned to a single tuple, and unpacking is when the values in a tuple are assigned to multiple variables. For example, I'll show you, that is packing will be tuple that is packing, and unpacking will be, for example, a That is unpacking. That means in future, if you want to access the value of A, it will be 1. If you want to access the value of B, it will be 2. Let me write it. Unpacking. So from here we understand then a variable can stores multiple values. Earlier I said that a variable can store single element, but now I am saying that a variable can store multiple values. So for as a beginner you should understand one variable, one value, but when you learn something, go by understanding all the data types, you should understand that variable can store multiple values, but for to access it you have to write. If you write simply like this one and you want to access this value, you cannot access. So there should be a packing and unpacking thing which supports in tuple. Okay. So let me give you overview so you'll understand. So for example, now I'll print A. We got this value. If I print B, then I'll get value 2. Now there is nothing much more in tuple. It's all over. We will now understand tuple methods. And as I said earlier, tuple has fewer built-in methods compared to list as they are immutable. Immutable means cannot be changed or manipulated, altered, whatever you want to say. So first one will be tuple dot count. I'll take value as 0. So okay. So now so we understand that 0 is one time. If you write 0, 0, it will be two times. So then we have index method as we already seen in list, and now we will see in tuple. So it should show 1 because it's in position 0, and it okay. Okay, yeah. It's showing 0 because it's in position 0. Yeah. Let me correct it if I do like this, so you'll understand better. So now it's position on 1, so it will show you 1. Yeah. So now the in tuple another method, what I will do, will go to official doc and we'll go through it. I don't think so. There are much more in tuple. So what we'll see in Google, we find out some doc. We'll go through it. Okay. So max method. Actually, it's not clearly there even. So we already seen max method. We can use in. So what we'll do, we'll write. There are one, two, three, four, five. They have given only five methods because there are no much more in tuple. So we will go one by one and we will see all. So after index, we will use length. Give me 1 minute, please. Okay, guys. I'm back. So length, you already know. I don't want to tell you again and again. It will count all the length of the tuple. So I'll go very quick. Sorry, length function will be like this. Okay, the value is 10. I'll count 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 0, 1, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10 will be counted. So we understood. Now another way is we can use concatenation in tuple. So that is like tuple equals to tuple plus tuple. Okay, so it should be actually tuple one plus tuple two. We can we can use this. So I'll go quickly. So that is my tuple one, and I'll create same with tuple two. Okay, so what I'll do, I'll convert into string. So it will be different. Some parts I'll convert in string. Here I will use concatenation, that is tuple one plus tuple two, and I'll print tuples. Okay, so it should be a combined script. So in tuple, we can use concatenation. Now we will see um, max as we have seen in the this website geeks for geeks. So we'll use say max method, then we will use minimum. Max minimum you understand actually. So I'll go very quick. I'll remove all these things. So I'll use max tuple. So max will be I guess 9. Yeah, and I'll use minimum. Minimum will be 0. Okay, so we use max and minimum. Then let me go to one website. Len we see, index we see, count we see. So um, we've done all the things. Unpacking, packing we already seen. creating tuple we've seen, reserving a tuple, that will be in advanced class, not now. So mm, now let me what more we can use. Okay, we can use multiplication with tuple. So tuple like let's take an example 2. So star 2, I'll see. So it will be, the list will be 2. For example, I'll show you. See, if we want to same element second time also, we'll use same. As if I write 5, it will. Okay. Now, uh, membership test we can do, but I don't think so. That should be teach right now. So it will be, if I teach that in advanced class, that you will be understand more clearly, because for that you should understand for loop and while loop. So yeah, with tuples we are done. Let me write all. Uh, works with integer and float. It will not work with string. So max will be same. So we are done with tuple and list. If you guys have questions, you can ask, and let me go through chats also. Okay, so there is no chat today. So if you didn't understand anything, you can ask me. So let me recall it again. So if there is something like this, that means it's a tuple, sorry, list. And if it's like this, that means it's a tuple. Above one is empty list and the second one is empty tuple. So now you can go for your queries. Okay, how to perform reverse sorting. So I already shared you over here. I'll once again I'll do it. So we created a list. So let's take an example. One. Okay. Now we will add. Okay. Then we will print a reverse sorting. Okay. I understand your question. In reverse, you have to sort it. Yeah. Okay. Okay. I understand your question. So for that, you can use for loop, that we will understand in for loop classes. or you can do it over here. So let's take an example. Okay, list equals to. So for example, we will take random numbers, 10, then 5, then 1, 7. So first, what we will do, we'll use sorting, sort. After that, what we will do, we will use list dot reverse. Then I'll print it. So let's check if it works. Mm, Okay, we can do that. It is Ninath, you can see that first we have done sorting and then we have reversed it. If you have more queries, guys, you can ask. Tomorrow we will, no, so tomorrow is Monday, so next Saturday, Sunday, we will finish dictionary and sets. Then after that, we will go to looping, for loop and while loop. We will see. So, you can't see the console result. Okay, let me do it again. Yeah, you can say that it's read only because you cannot change or modify the content. So yeah, you can say it's a read only.